Good morning, Internet. This is Alex does Sudokus, and it is Monday the 5th of July 2021, and we're going to tackle today's New York Times hard Sudoku. So, if you're watching from YouTube, I do this on a daily basis, so please do give me a subscription. And click the subscribe to see this daily if you end up enjoying it. And hit the like and all that stuff. That's weird, talking about it at the start. But anyway, let's get started. So we're using the Snyder notations method to solve this. So we are just going to look at each of the numbers from 1 to 9 and observe their availability in each of the boxes. If we have two possible candidates, we pencil mark them in. If we have less than that, well, we've solved the number in that box, basically. And if we have more, we're going to leave them alone. And that is the general vibe of what we're doing. Well, the 5s locked the 5s in here. These two 5s locks the 5 in there, and it pushes the 2 into this cell because there were two possible candidates for the 2. And yeah, that's where Snyder notations shines. Anyway, these two now locks a pair of 2s over there, and a 2, I'm just following it to see if it does anything else. If it doesn't, I'm going to move back to the 5s to see what else is available. So these two 5s are locked in here. 5, 5, 5. I can't see any more with the 5s, so we're going to put a 6 here because of these two 6s locking the columns and these two 6s locking the rows. What else have we got? We've got a pair of 6s down here because of these two 6s. So that in turn locks a pair of 6s over there because this is a pointing pair of 6s. Any more 6s on a row is going to make this box impossible. So with row 9 and 8 taken care of, we've got a 6 locked in these two cells basically. And yeah, that's basically how we approach solving our puzzles. So pointing pairs are always welcome. Pointing triples are also welcome as well, but often we don't pencil mark them in. If we come across any, I will call them out. 7s, I can't see anything, so what about the 8s? I've got an 8 over here, thanks to these 8s, and got another pair of 8s here because of these two 8s, and that forms what's called a matching pair. These 3s and 8s are locked in the same cells, same two cells, so if any of these cells have any numbers other than 3 or 8, it will leave us with a single cell for two numbers, which is impossible. So that means these two cells are basically out of play, and we have a triple left. Is that interesting? We've got a pointing pair of, we've got a pointing pair of 4s here as a result. Does that do anything for us? We also have a pointing pair of 4s over here as well, incidentally. So that's a pair of 4s up here. I don't think I can do more with the 4. So what else is missing? 1 and 9. 9 is also blocked from that cell, so that must be a 1. And these are 9s. So I've got a pair of 4s and 9s. So when I carry on looking, I've got a pair of 9s over here. 9s are also in these two cells on a row because I noticed that the 9s are locked on rows 5 and 6 in these two boxes. But you could also observe it by just looking at the row. You'll see these are the only two cells remaining, and the only numbers remaining are 2s and 9s. Okie doke. We've got 2 down here thanks to these 2s. I think when we placed the 8, it made that happen. So that opens up a 6 for us. And then another pair of 6s over there. Does 2 do anything else? Oh, yes, it does. The 2... Hold on. No, it doesn't. I lied. That was a mistake. Okay, we have another triple forming in this box, which are also 1, 4, and 9. Is that useful for us? I don't think it is. So is anything interesting going on in this box? Well, the 3s are now locked in these two cells. As well as the ones and threes are now locked in these two cells, and that is useful because again, we basically have a matching pair. Even though right now it doesn't look like a matching pair, if we count the numbers, the ones and the threes share the same two cells. That means again, the 7 cannot go there, otherwise the 1 and 3 are locked in the same cell. So pushes out the 7. 7 doesn't do anything else though, so I think it's time we go back. Oh, okay, so now, yeah, this was a matching pair because we've got two sets of matching pairs. We've got 2s and 9s here, 1s and 3s here. So these two cells were also a pair because again, whatever those numbers were couldn't go in the 2 and 9 or the 1 and 3. So that forms a pair of 8. So we've kind of come full circles, coming back to the 8 actually, which is nice because we were looking at the 8s. So the 8 has given us quite a lot of developments. 9 is on its own, so is it a weak number? It is a weak number. So with weak numbers, I have a bit of logic where any cells that doesn't see a 9 is probably not going to be a naked single because they'll have at least 9 as one of the possible candidates, as well as possibility of other numbers being a candidate. So conversely, any cells that sees a 9 has an increased probability of it being a naked single. So I like to look at this column. So I've got 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, missing a 5. I've got 6, 7, 8, and 9. So indeed, it has a naked 5 here. I was looking at this column because it's the most populated. What does the 5 do? It gives us a pair of 5s over there, which forms an X-wing. Or if you look at these two boxes, the 5s are locked on the same two rows. So when that happens, basically, it means there are no 5s on row 1, but it has to be a 5 on row 1. So it must be in the remaining box. So it has to be here because the 5 is blocked from column 2. So that unlocks another 5 for us down here because of these 5s as well. So what else does this 5 do? We've got a 4-9 pair there. So again, they're out of play on this column. And that leaves us a triple of 6, 1, 6, and 1, 6, and 4. So 4s, no, 1, 6, not 4s. I've got 4s. 1, 6, and 2s. 1, 2, and 6. It's not very useful. I've got 2 and 6 there. Oh, hold on. I've got 1 up here, so that has... Oops, the 1 has to be down here. I missed the 1 in this box, actually. So the 1 unlocks a 6. And that gives me another 6 up here because these two columns are taken and that row is taken. So that in turn gives us all the 6s. And now we have a 2 sitting nicely in this cell on this column. That 2 gives us a pair of 2s here, and that is beneficial because we have another set of X-wings, or the fact that the 2s are locked on columns 4 and 6, giving us another 2 down here. And that 2 gives us another 2 over here, although actually this 2 on its own would have unlocked it. Which means we have a pair of 4s and 7s here. So that means that 7s are locked in these cells. 4s and 7s are locked in those 3 cells. Is that useful? Not especially, but this is 3, 8, and 9. Oh my god. That was rather loud, and I don't know if the mic picked it up, but it was loud. Some random vehicle just went past. Oh, we've got a 3 here. I was just looking at this box because it looks a bit restricted. So the 1s are restricted to these 2 cells. 9s are restricted down here. 7s available in all 3 cells. So this must be a 7 or 9 because of the row. Oops, didn't mean to pencil mark it in. So 9s are down here. 7s. Okay, so we have a oh yeah, this column, there's only one number left, and that's a 9. I was kind of looking at it the opposite way by seeing a quadruple forming of 2, 5, 7, and 8. But actually, we could have just looked at a 9. So with the 9, we have a triple forming on the top row, and it is 3, 7, and 8. 3, 7, and 8. Okay, that is not useful at all. We have no 8. We have a 3, so 7 and 9. Oh, we have a 3 here as well, so the 3 is over here, which means the 3 and 8 are resolved here. The 3 and, 1 and 3 are resolved here as well. And the 1 must be in these two cells, and that is a 9. Might as well pencil mark in a triple in the box. When there's a triple left in the box, I tend to pencil mark them in because they're generally quite restricted. Wonder what I should do next. Column 2 and 3 are left with matching pairs because there are only 2 cells left on this column, 2 cells left on this column because the 4 and 7 are matching pairs. So these are 8 and 9. These are 4s and 7s. Yep, 4s and 7s. Okay, what do we do with that information? That's not as useful as I hoped it would be. Okay, let's have a look at this box. 2, 3. Okay, 3 is locked in here because of this 3 and those 2 3s ruling out the rows. So that unlocks a 4 for us. So 4 and 7 are unlocked. That means 7s are pointed, so they're down here. And that means the 7 has to come up here because I have an X-wing of 7s. So 7, 8, 2, and 5 are resolved. So that means that there might have been a naked 5 the whole time. Oh, once the 7s were in place, it became a naked 5. So this is an 8, and that's an 8 and 9 resolved. The 9s are in these 2 cells because this is a 5-7 pair. Okay. Oh, the 2 unlocks the 2 and the 9, which means the 9 is down here, unlocking the 7, 1, and 9 over here, meaning the 1 is here, 7 is there. Okay. That was pretty pog. Right. Closing in on the end now. So we've got 1, 9, and 3. So that must be a 3 because I've got 1 and 9 on this row. And with the 3, that's the last 3 actually. This is a 1 because I've got 1s on rows 1 and 3. I've got 1 here, and this is a 5-7 pairs. So 1, 9, and 4 are resolved. That solves the 4 and the 7. And the 7 and the 5. The 1 unlocks the 9 here, which unlocks the 9 and the 4. So 4 and 1 are there. And that is today's New York Times hard Sudoku. Quite an easy one. So if you're watching on YouTube, once again, I do play this on a daily basis. And so do give me a subscribe to see more in the future. Don't worry about a bell notification. That would just be annoying if you get it every day. But yeah, if you want to see me live and interact with me and convince yourself that I'm a real person, come to Twitch. There's a linky in the description below. And I think that's all I have to say about that. Liking and commenting whether you'll enjoy the puzzle or not, or my solving would also help me a lot with the algorithms, as usual, because we live under the regime of machine algorithms now. Didn't you know? I'm gonna, see you tomorrow.